What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm according to Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion, one Pius Inalalobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus.
Yes, yes, I am Voodoo, and it is the cool making his return. So be known and be known. Come one, come one. He's back. Let's go.
Yes, I'm back. Not taking a nap and all that shit. But we have, I mean, if you liked combat sports, right? Like you were up to your eyeballs and just like Friday and Saturday, right? Because we had Combate Global on Friday on the Paramount Network, right? Then we had UFC starting about 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then on top of that, about 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is when the Bellator prelim started, and that was wild. Emanating from the SAP Center in San Jose, better known as the Shark Tank for those hockey fans or people that just need a reference. But Deanna Bennett won, and her dad was a Sacramento or San Jose uh, police police person, right? And so she had his badge, and that was cool, super fucking cool. A lot of shit, and God love Mar Ronaldo because there was an island dude that was fighting
Okay.
with Bellator, right? He went hard in the paint. I mean, hard in the paint with fucking pro wrestling references. He
Yeah.
mentioned the Harts, the Guerreros, the Von Erichs while this
Right.
kid was coming out. Um, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they alluded that he was a part of the Anawahi family with Yokozuna and Rikishi and The Rock and Roman Reigns. So I gotta watch it back again. But like he dropped like in 15 seconds, he dropped some Maranello fucking dropped some knowledge on us simpletons, man. So shout out to Mara, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it.
That's what's up. It's always great to see someone uh, grab that mic and use it the way it's supposed to be used. You know what I mean? Instead of talking about their manager and all that nonsense.
No, 100%. But on the other side of the docket, emanating from the UFC Apex, we had UFC Vegas 37, headlined by one Anthony Lionheart Smith and Ryan Superman Stan.
Right.
So first fight of the night, what we got, Voodoo?
Well, in the first fight, we had Emily Whitmire versus Hannah Gold. In the beginning, Emily looked real good. Her striking was nice. Hannah Goldie seemed more wrestling dominant. She's able to stand and kick, but you can tell it's not smooth and comfortable. But eventually, they wound up on the ground towards the end of the first round, and Hannah Gold was able to trap that arm, secure that arm bar, and finish it. Um, she she seems very very strong, and it seems she overpowered her opponent. Even though she was on her back, she was able to take the submission. It wasn't like finesse. She just took it. Give me that arm, and that was that.
Yeah, and it goes without saying, right? Like different attributes, right? Make great fighters or make styles exciting and everything like that. Hannah Goldie's upper broad body strength is something to be had,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would almost say like Yoel Romero, like you
Yeah,
know, her
freak of
top, like her top half and her center of like low center of gravity. I think she's 5'4", 5'5", somewhere in that range, right? Like she is a machine, and I think
Yes.
I think he might have had a stint in Invicta, but I can't remember.
I believe
But
so.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, but she was one of those highly touted, people, along with like uh, uh, Verna Jandiroba, right,
Mhm.
coming over from Invicta. Oh God, what's her name? Uh fuck, can't remember her name, and she almost looks like God, I forgot her name. I
Tanya
could
Evans.
not. Huh?
Tanya Evans.
No, Avengers, like way before she fought Cyborg, but it's a newer gal. Like her dad is her coach.
Yeah.
Uh,
For this. Man.
she might look like Bam Bam Terry Gordy a little bit in the face.
Right. Right. Right.
I forgot her name,
For this
but
person.
but
Hey, long ago.
yeah, she just fought.
Hmm.
And not just like Bam Bam. Miranda Gordy.
Right.
His daughter that's wrestling too, right? Like they could be sisters. They could be
Right.
sisters. I can't remember her name, but yeah, Handle Goldie was one of those ones to watch, and she showed you, exactly. And Whitmer's fucking tough, man. Like fucking tough. Um, I just it's fights like these. I'm looking forward to the proliferation of MMA, but especially women's MMA.
Hmm.
It's off the charts right now.
Hmm.
I can't wait, and obviously it was championed by people like Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Shayna Baszler. Um, God, I'm forgetting. Like Marluz Conan, and like so many amazing. Hell, Aaron Tohill, right? So many incredible women paving the way, but like the future has never looked brighter. So, shout out to all your ladies. Shout out to all you gentlemen that are doing it. Shout out to the coaches, the gyms. Um, this is a fucking great time.
Yeah. Indeed, it is, man. Because this brings us to our next fight in the 135-pound division. Uh, Notable, well, at least to our side of the coast, Gustavo Lopez, former
Hmm.
Combate Americas champion, went in there against Haley Aletang, and it was quite a match. It was quite a match. Aletang seemed to be most dominant in this particular matchup. However, the fight was so back and forth that it ended up in a draw, a unanimous draw. You don't see that often, unanimous draw. You know what I mean? No one wins. Like the judges couldn't come to a definitive conclusion on this particular one. Well, since that's the case, I don't think I want to see this match anymore or ever again.
No, no, no. I agree. And it's like, and I know they're friends, right? And you know, Gustavo's a friend. I mean, total disclosure. Gustavo's a friend. Anthony Burchak is a friend. Mercedes White, Burchak's wife, is a friend. That whole fucking 10 Planet Tucson just love the shit out of him, right? But it seems like Gustavo Lopez is like only kind of notable fucking fight was against his friend in Burchak, right?
Yes.
Um, no, there was that point where he was fighting. I think either it was his debut. I can't really remember which happens. If it's a birdshot was first, or the Russian gentleman where he does the fucking Chavo Guerrero, fucking tornado DDT, and I
Yeah.
fucking tagged Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero popped pretty fucking well.
Yeah. I think that was when he fought his boy.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, 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 that was the Russian guy.
That was a Russian guy.
That was the Russian guy. But I don't know which came first. The Russian or Eastern European for sure.
Mm.
Eastern European, or Burchak. But yeah, Gustav. So there was a weird sequence that happened. I believe it was in the first round.
Hmm.
Fucking Gustavo cracked him with like a fucking combination, and then he fucking shoots like a fucking blast double,
Hmm.
which goes fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think I might have shouted at my TV.
Like what the
I was like, what in the fuck? That was just like, Sean O'Malley on one leg and the fucking dude is trying to fucking take him down. And I was like, it was off. And I don't know if that was a miscommunication of Lopez or, you know, the obviously the coaches, or it was just instinct.
Mhm.
But Gustavo, because of that era, I felt that he suffered because the next exchange, because it was towards the first round,
Mhm.
right? And as the round ended and whatever, Lopez got fucking cracked too, and that's where the blood started to come and whatever. And I think he paid dearly for not just fucking finishing off, you know, um,
On it.
that dude when he was rocked, clearly rocked.
Thing. A thing. But then I do understand why he to commit to the finish. Because sometimes you commit to the finish like that, and then do this still there, and then now you've blown your wall, and you got to deal with that, and it's left in the match. Oh man, such a scary thing, man. When you when you put it all on the line, you know what I mean. The opponent pretty much stays protected, and then now it's their turn to come after you. Oh man, and you're tired. So I guess it's understandable. It's understandable that he was hesitant to go for the kill and do it for the thrill. But it is what it is. Ended up in a draw, and I'm not
Yeah,
interested in the match between these two.
no, not at all. But Tyson Duckworth, the reigning and defending Alaska Fighting Championship 145-pound champ, says Alaska in the house.
That's
Shout
right.
out to Ketchikan, Alaska in the house. Shout out to Tyson Duckworth and Ernesto and the rest of the crew at Ketchikan Fight Club in Ketchikan, Alaska. So if you don't know, now you know.
That's right. That's right. And if you don't know, we're moving on to the 170-pound division, welterweight, in which we had Carlston Harris versus Impa Kasangane. The fight starts off. Now, by the way, this Charleston fella, Charleston Harris. When you look at the name, you're like, okay, he's an African American, but he's no African American. The brother's from Brazil. He's from the jungles of Brazil somewhere. So, anyways, they go in there and they start slinging leather almost immediately.
Yes.
See anything super technical between the two. It was more brawl style. Um, because I've been so spoiled in regards to the plethora of mixed martial arts that I've been exposed to these past few years, fights like that don't impress me anymore. I mean, yeah, he got the knockout, and let me see, did he even get fight of the night? No, no, he didn't get anything fight of the night related, but he got a knockout, uh, an impressive knockout, TKO, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Landed clean on the chin, wobbled him, went in for the kill. The referee stopped it. Impa is now 9-2, but he's got lots of experience. Anyone can get caught. He seemed to just have gotten caught on the chin in this particular matchup. So I'm not mad at that loss. I'm not mad at that loss. I mean, he did fight someone who is 17-4, much more experienced,
Right.
excellent grappler. This dude's an excellent grappler, jiu-jitsu artist. Uh, I guess it couldn't have gone another way than it did.
Yeah. Well, for me, this actually set off a weird precedence. You know what that precedence was, Voodoo?
Mm-mm.
Weird shit with flags.
Mm.
Because this dude, right? And I think he's from Brazil, I believe, but
Right.
has been in America forever. There was a gal in his corner, right? So when they do the pre-fight check and all that, whatever,
Yeah.
um, he handed the flag, whatever flag, and I don't even remember what type of flag, whatever, but it was like a combination of like sewn together
Mm-hmm.
whatever his home country was and the Brazilian one.
Anna, he's from
Oh, Ghana.
Ghana.
Okay. Like Kofi Kingston, Ghana, West Africa. Hell yes. Um, so, but the thing about it, he hands it to her and she's trying to wrap it up, and the fucking cameraman is there and she fucking blocks his shot. And I don't know why, but I fucking popped so hard for that. Like, I popped so hard, you know? Which that cameraman might be related to the fucking guy at Bellator that didn't catch the fucking Yoel Romero fucking cartwheel backflip into a plie that he usually does.
Mhm.
I guess we'll talk a little bit about that, but like, yeah, like it's Bellator's cage. It's a little bit different than the UFC's cage, right? It's a circular versus an octagon. Yoel was trying to fucking move this sorry son of a bitch out the fucking way so he can do the flip. And then I guess they're like, I don't know what the fuck. So they cut that dude's feed and
Yeah.
do a live shot. And us at home, all we saw was something dark, either his head or his feet, just go above the fucking Bellator cage.
It was a UFO.
Yeah, which is a feat like nobody's business. That he fucking clears the cage with one part of his body doing a fucking cartwheel handstand backflip and shit like that. The Walendas would be proud. The fucking tightrope walkers and shit like that would be so proud of you, El Romero. But we didn't get to fucking see it at home because that cameraman, just like the fucking UFC cameraman and the weird flag thingy, didn't fucking catch it. So that's all I got to say about that. I got no technical analysis, and I'm actually sad for the next site.
Yeah.
Shut up. Go for it.
Yeah, and this next one at 125-pound division, we had Erin Blanchfield versus Sarah Alpar. I was looking forward to this particular one because Erin,
The next one. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Go.
Erin is one that interests me. I've seen her fight before.
Mm-hmm.
She's young, but what I liked most about her was that nickname, Cold Blooded. Like, for you to name yourself Cold Blooded, you must be bringing a set of tools to the game. That's you know what I mean. That's not like everyone else's.
Right.
And like discussed last time, Tracy Cortez, who is an excellent mixed martial artist, is the only person she's lost to. Otherwise, she's been pretty much flawless up until that point. She had only one amateur fight in which she won by armbar in the first round. And then she went on a tear. She fought the likes of Kay Hansen, Brittany Cloudy, Victoria Leonardo, and then now Sarah Alpar is also on her resume. Unanimous decision victory. Alpar, do you remember Sarah Alpar? Remember she was going to be getting married?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
got massacred.
Yeah.
Ring, she's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Marriage, yeah.
And she even said it like, I hope I got a good makeup artist to fucking fix me up for the wedding and shit like that, you know? But again, this is one of those where like I'm so grateful to these athletes, right? And what they do and what they bring to the sport. You know, both ladies I feel are going to be title contenders, you know, and of course, one won, one loss, right? It's like the upcoming fucking Lights Out Extreme Fighting card, right? Like we know a lot of the guys on that fucking card, right? Fucking Victor Henry versus Albert Morales for the fucking Lights Out fucking bantamweight title.
And that was October 30th.
That's October 30th, man, and I'm looking like this. And I thought I was retired from fucking live shows. But those badass motherfuckers, shout out to Lights Out. Ugh, I don't know, man. I don't know. No, but I can also watch it on Fubo TV and then reach out to everyone after the fact. So it's not a total loss.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
It's all good. I look going back to them live shows, man. I was gonna make the last one that they had, but those tickets were sold out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, George Bajmajian, he was like, we got standing room, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm gonna go to a show like that and stand around, man. I'm not doing that. But what I did was this next one, I did get my tickets way ahead of time, so we're not gonna be having those problems anymore.
Oh yeah, and again, whether it was lights out or the previous, like CXF, which
Mhm.
you were an alumnus of, right? Um, you you go like, that card can't get any better, and then the next one is better.
Yeah,
There are no bad fights. I don't
yeah.
care if it's Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City. I don't care if it's Commerce Casino
Mhm.
in Commerce, California, or they're returning to the Burbank Marriott and Convention Center, which was the site, you remember, of arguably the greatest fight that I've ever seen,
Yeah,
Jalen Turner versus Richard Leroy,
yeah,
back at CXF8, Cali
yeah,
Kings, and you can find that on Fight TV. I have
yeah.
that queued up perpetually. That and the fucking Merced Bektik and Darren Elkins fight from UFC 209, right? No
Mhm.
disrespect to all of the fights that I've seen and all the fighters that I've seen fight or have interviewed after,
Mhm.
yourself included.
Mhm.
But those two are my 1A, 1B. In
Yeah, I
terms
get,
of live fights greatest fights that I've ever seen.
yeah.
And even like, seeing Richard Leroy's fucking family, like in orange with his fucking bloody face tattoo, as his fucking, bloody face shirt, as he's getting his face bloodied. Like it was wild. I caught a picture of like Tyrion Ware, Marcos Bonilla, fucking Darion Chapman, and Josh Barnett all standing on their chairs. Not, yes, standing on their chairs to get a better look because it's flat at the Burbank Marriott and Convention Center, and you got to go up to the ring. So some of the most badass hombres in town.
Yeah,
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 I think even Shayna Baszler was there too, like
yeah.
before WWE. So
Oh, she was on, yeah.
yeah, she was there. That
She
was
was.
right before she got signed. So literally, some of the most badass people that and that's not. I mean, we're talking about like the names. Then you got like the coaches and former fighters, and like Beltran was a referee. I happened to be fucking going, like going right past the cage as he was coming out, and he had a fucking cathartic out of body experience. He's like, bro, I don't. What the fuck? And I was like, thank you for not stopping it when fucking Leroy got dropped. And he was like, yeah, that was intense, but I could see it in his eyes. He was still there. But like, I was like, fuck, man. Oh, great. Yeah, again, those two, CXF8 and then Betic Elkin
Yeah,
in 209. Those are the benchmarks for me.
straight up.
Good fights that I can't believe. Shout out to again, Tout slash CXF, and shout out to fucking Albert Morales who's fighting on this next card, going in as champion.
Yeah, right.
Um, who fucking got me the fucking ticket to UFC 209? So small world, it's crazy.
Yeah. I look forward to that card. Then
Somebody liker to you. He's like Papa.
go, man. Hey, but then we move on into the 135-pound division in which Montel Jackson versus JP Buys. Remember that JP Buys
Oh
fella?
yeah, that's not okay. Yes, JP bias. Oh, JP got fucking cracked. JP got cracked. I can't even remember what happened, but like I remember the last. I think I was no, I was on the phone with somebody, so I didn't catch all of it, right?
Yeah.
But like fucking Jackson was be like he fucking cracked JP, like cracked JP. like the fucking caste system in his native fucking South Africa. It was like, ugh, it was rough. That shit was like, I don't think I want to go with the Pistorius one. I have a fucking Pistorius, Oscar Pistorius one, and that's way too fucking dark. So I'm not even gonna go there. Never forget Reva Steenkamp, and never forget that girl lost in fucking Wyoming, and they fucking found her body. Fuck that Brian Laundrie guy. Fuck him and Benoit too. You
Yeah,
know.
this was quite an. One thing that we do understand is JP Buys can take a shot because he took many shots that set him straight down to his ass immediately. But he went right to his jiu-jitsu, and he was able to recover due to his jiu-jitsu expertise. Um, I don't recommend taking so many shots like that
Mm-mm.
in this kind of sport.
At this level too.
At this level, he needs to figure something out.
Yes.
Reduce the amount of power shots that you take to the friggin' head, man. I mean, it was a unanimous decision victory for Mr. Montel Jackson. But boy, did he put up a phenomenal highlight tape in this particular match against JP Buys. I mean, he just beat him. He beat him everywhere. Beat him everywhere. Buys seemed like he was in a fight, but he was getting rocked left and right, man. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, no, it's again, if this were a title fight, okay, right? If this was like, one of those, PFL, $1 million tournament and shit like that, or Bellator's Grand Prix, right? You might justify it, but also you don't want to get hit,
Right.
you know? It's just like, people who join the military. There are some people that you will take whatever they're qualified for, and some motherfuckers that want to go on the front lines and night in, night out want to be a part of a firefight. And I don't know JP Bays or whatever. I'm just judging, and not trying to. I'm observing him and his wife Cheyenne and how the UFC treated them in their entry to the company, right? And we got ad nauseum every commercial was them training at home and what have you, and it's just like it's almost like the fucking Kurt Angle vignettes, right? Like, oh, the three eyes and the whatever. And then when it came out, this is a different fucking attitude era, and they didn't want to hear none of that shit. They fucking booed his ass. And to me, that is just my impression of the Bays husband and wife combo. They kind of remind me of Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae over in NXT, WWE NXT, where it's just like they're annoying, but you're like, you root for them, but they're annoying. Like, you want them to do well, but you also don't want them to do well. Yeah, I mean, fuck. JP Bays, again, with all the pomp and circumstance that him and his wife got coming into, the deal, she's got the $50,000. I think is he not won in the UFC, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
I
don't
think
believe.
he's 0-3.
Actually, let me run. I believe he is on a 2-fight losing streak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's currently on a 2-fight losing streak.
2-fight. Yeah,
Montel. But prior to that, he seemed to be doing well. In the Contender Series, he fought Jacob Silva, whom he beat. He was in LFA. He beat Christian Rodriguez. He beat Luthando Biko. He beat Kamzat Magomedov in Brave CF. Felipe Roche. Last person he lost to was Jody Sanchez way back in 2017, and also in the Contender Series.
yeah,
So he's not bad at all. He's not bad at all. It's just that the game keeps changing. The
yeah.
game keeps changing, and it's changing fast. Now that he's in the UFC, it's changing even that much faster because
Mhm.
the elite athletes in the UFC are trying to get ahead of the curve. He's barely making it to the curve, but these guys that he's facing, like the Montel Jackson, they're trying to beat the curve. They're ahead of the curve while he's at the tail end of the beginning of the curve. So it's not working out for him right now, right? 2 UFC losses. He won the contenders, yes, great, but now he's officially in the UFC and he's got 2 L's. First was to Bruno Silva by Conor Wright, and then this one unanimous decision. It almost seems like there's no prayer for the fella, right? It almost like,
Well,
but I think with time, if he's able to adapt, adjust, and upgrade his software, perhaps he might get a win in the UFC. And we'll see.
yeah. So for me, you know, if last night's performance, right, as we were filming this, was the highest ever evolved of JP Bays, right, at this juncture in his career, I shudder to think those other wins, right, and even the loss before this,
Mhm.
you know, the brain, if he was taking similar types of shots, that might be the unraveling, right? And we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen to Chuck, and we've seen it happen to so many fighters, great fighters along the way in all combat sports. Um, but yeah, I really don't know, and especially I don't know the dynamics of the relationship, but like it looks like Cheyenne is going to be the breakout star, and I don't want there to be any friction between it because like
Yeah.
she might be in a place especially if he doesn't win his next one, assuming he gets another shot in the UFC. She's essentially the breadwinner.
Hmm. Yeah. Hopefully we don't get another Misha Tate, whatever that other name was.
Oh, Brian Caraway. I'm so glad that they're not together.
Right. Right. Good for her. But not together. Uh Stu Wrong went in there against Brandon Jenkins. Brandon Jenkins on Thursday kind of stood out to me, and he stood out to me for one reason only. The man called himself the human highlight.
Yes.
Human highlight. And if you're gonna be that brave to call yourself the human highlight reel, there better be something to show for it. There better be something to show for it. But unfortunately, there was a highlight reel, but it wasn't for Brandon Jenkins. Nothing he did warranted a highlight reel recognition. His opponent, Wrong, on the other hand, was piecing him up quite nicely. A couple of times I saw his head, Jenkins, his head snapped back from the shots that he was taking and hit the top of the octagon.
Mm-hmm.
Several times he was getting jabbed up, crossed up. He was just getting abused up in there, man. He's getting abused. Human highlight reel, human highlight reel, and nothing to show for it. Perhaps the opponent that they gave him was way too difficult. I don't know, man. He's got to do something about that name because that's a whole lot of pressure that he put on himself. A
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of pressure. You know what I mean? I was the first fight in the UFC. He was in that. Cage for that. And LFA. The UFC will give him another shot. But he needs to step this game up. Because when we're a human highlight, I'm expecting super dynamic and spinning shiznit like uh, Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz. one of the two. That's what I was expecting, but I didn't get any of that from this fella.
No, and especially he's not the only highlight reel in the UFC currently. We got former World Series of Fight champion, former UFC interim champion, one Justin Gaethje.
Right.
That's
Right.
a highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder about his fucking safety too,
Right.
but that's another story for another day. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And Takia Powell says, "Hey guys, how's it going? Good, brother. It is good. Good to have you here.
By the
Along
way,
with
Takia is female.
huh?
Takia is female.
I'm sorry. I'm
To tell you, but I forget to tell you.
sorry. Michelle, my brain is fried. So sorry. So
But
sorry, but I'm glad you're here.
the 135-pound division, we had the Raquel Pennington versus Panay Pianza. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
My bad.
I enjoyed this particular match thoroughly. It had been a while. Raquel reminds me of that work, wake every morning at 4 a.m. out the door by 5, working from 7 to 7. She strikes me as a visual. And like, man, she's been there with the very best game. She's beaten Irene Aldana. She lost to Holly last matchup by unanimous decision, but this is Holly Holm. Holly Holmes is boxing champion. Holly Holmes is boxing champion. Holly Holmes is UFC champion. All Holly win or what? So it's understandable Raquel lose because Holly and she rises to the top. She's been in that Amanda being another champion. Amanda Nunes, another former champion. Misha Tate, another former champion. I mean, the on and in there against a young, I would call it Banzai from Copenhagen. The fight was beautiful. It was a lot of clinching in this particular match, which is fine. It just lets you know it's a real fight. It's not some spectacle. These women went in there, they fought each other. Not disappointed with a style against this grizzled. It was a smart fight for someone of intelligence and experience. I agree with the unanimous loss. I feel the young Kianda did enough to win one round. So to give it to Raquel, decision. I do with that. I do believe that Raquel. I just thought it was a decision.
Yeah. I will say this. I think it's kind of fun. So for those who don't know, first off, love the fight. There have been a couple times where I thought Pane might not, her run might be out, and she's proven me wrong every time, and I love admitting that I was wrong, right? That wasn't looking good, especially during, in the COVID era, her coming back and whatever. But yeah, I'm glad, and this loss really wasn't a loss, I don't think. So I hope she gets another shot. She's been here since the Ultimate Fighter, as is Rocky Pennington. But Raquel Pennington, I think it's fun because for those who don't know, she's either her spouse is her, huh?
Tisha Torres.
Yeah, Tisha Torres. You know what Tisha Torres did this weekend? Competed in a fitness, like bodybuilding competition.
CrossFit type?
No. Like body, like the body sculpts,
Oh,
like
right here.
art. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah. So
That's for it.
and I was telling my wife, I was just like, we were talking about like body types and everything like that, and here's literally, two females are in a relationship, two the best in the world. One won a UFC, one competed. You think, oh, MMA fighter on the UFC roster, it wouldn't be that hard or whatever. But her body type looked completely different in that form. So it's just, I think the Dark Angel or Sarah Stock in CMLL did the same thing where um, there was a bunch of like Alberto Del Rio when he was Dos Caras, or El Hijo de Dos Caras in Mexico before his WWE run. They did stuff where like they would do bodybuilding once a year, and they looked a lot different, right? And even with Tisha Torres, it looks a lot different, the weight cut for the bodybuilding versus their weight cut for fighting. So I don't know the results, but I know she did it. So both mini victories for both Tisha and Raquel Pennington. So I like it. And yes, it's all good. Thank you, Takei. Thank
And
you. 100%. So I think this is the one that's going to make me cry, but go ahead.
yeah. So on into the heavyweight division in which we were presented on True. I believe that the Don nickname is the Don. Went in there with Mike Slow Rodriguez,
Oh,
and
no,
Mike
this is not the one. Yeah, go for it.
lived up because Slow in there didn't seem like a striker that he be, even though I picked him just because of his height, skill level, and his footwork. That factor in this match, Tafon, I don't know, if he hurt and he took the fight. He took the fight. Hurt? No, I'm not sure. But Tafon the work to put the pause. Say he wasn't able to, but he did enough. Decision.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And BJ Darden says these guys are fucking awesome. It could win the fight, but also it could be us. So thank you, BJ Darden. And you could catch BJ Darden, or as he's otherwise known, the franchise player Double B Bad Blood on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. So go ahead and check him out and what have you. You've even seen this face or radio a bunch of times on it. So just saying. And Tony DeBurn is probably one of the most brilliant people ever, as is Bad Blood. So here you go. So Voodoo in the Woods, best MMA podcast ever.
Yeah,
Much appreciate,
that's
as
right.
the Brazilians say. No, absolutely. And I'm gonna earn that. We're gonna earn that damn title. So appreciate it. So next fight. I think this is the one that makes me cry.
Yeah, this one opens up the main
Yes.
part
Yeah.
of it. We have Joaquin Antonio Arojo. Wow, what a match! Antonio Arojo, Joaquin, fantastic. They went at it. They went at it. I wish both these gentlemen could have received fight of the night, but didn't happen. Didn't happen. They didn't even like Buckley didn't even get performance of the night recognition, even though it seemed like he was in the match. And I overhand right, forearm. His knuckles hit the guy. I believe it was his forearm, some kind of like a karate chop
Mm-hmm.
in which the forearm lands right on the back of the ear type spot and just wobbled him real good. And as he was dealing with the uncertainties of life, he caught a right, but a,
Mm.
a nice kick, clipped him and dropped for good. And the referee stepped in there, saved the man's life. He was out cold, toes were curled, he was stiff. There was no more Joaquin Buckley continue to assault this. And good job by the referee jumping in there, saving this man from further damage.
Yeah. Wait, who's Buckley's opponent?
Antonio Rojo. He was much
Okay.
taller.
All right, all right.
Good.
This one wasn't too bad, and I think it's fun that Impa was Impa on this card.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so Joaquin Buckley and Impa on the same card in different spots. I think it's just fun if you
Yeah.
know the history and the fucking
Myself, not to myself.
yeah,
Thursday. What if they were interested?
yeah.
Weird. They were.
Strange fucking bedfellows, man. Wait, is Christos next?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This
No,
is
no, no,
oh
no,
wait,
no. Maine. Nate Maine. Remember that, Maine?
oh Mayanus.
Yeah. Remember?
Yes.
Remember that broadcast while he was fighting?
How could I forget
And Maine
Mayanus?
doing this. Maine is that's the every that cracks me up. But the man Maine went in there against Gravely. Tony Gravely went up in there.
Oh my
It
fucking god! Was this the fight of the night?
I don't believe it was the fight of the night. I do believe he got did he? He got yes, a performance of the night for that knockout. Take that back.
No, no. Fuck, fuck all that. This is my fight of the night. I don't like both guys. Fucking KO'd each other,
Right?
dead in the dirt.
Yeah.
Right? Gravely beats the fuck out of Mayan, right? And the fucking round, the round ends. The fucking first round ends, and he's sprawled out like fucking Weekend at Bernie's and shit, right? Like sprawled the fuck out, right? Oh, I'm so alive when this like whatever, right? And they bring him over to his corner. He's on fucking, he's on Green Street. That fucking boy band of the fucking early 2000s. He was down on Dream Street. They fucking bring it, whatever. Tell me why, in true Backstreet Boys fashion, tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache, ain't nothing but a mistake. I never want to hear you say I want it that way, because fucking Gravely gets his ass knocked out almost in the same fucking corner in the same fashion. And I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
That was crazy. One, hey, Maine really got paid by the bell up because he was on his way to get when that bell rang, and then he was able to recover. And those 1 minute, that 1 minute break, got recovered, came back after Gravely, and shot. Only Gravely couldn't handle it.
Okay, but who was the fight of the night?
There was no fight. What happened was
Motherfucker.
they gave
You know
everybody
what?
knockout.
Pull out your fucking pocketbook. I know we got Jacob Rosales fucking fighting on Contender Series, you know, but shit me.
Mm-hmm.
These two need 50 each. Fuck it, they need 100 each. Give them 100 each. They both. That was a fucking double KO. I don't care what anyone says. This is a fucking double KO in back-to-back rounds. Holy fucking shit!
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the best and the worst that MMA has to offer. Nobody gets out alive. Oh my god! And oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Voodoo. 100%. Yeah, this okay. This is the fight of the night. I'm sorry for the UFC, and nothing against the main, and the co-main, and everything you're about to see, or about to hear about. But this shit right there, this shit right here, that's fight of the night. That's it.
Yeah, they threw in, went after. They went after you with an intent to destroy. And both fighters on this particular day, only one stayed down a lot longer than the other. One was saving the other wasn't.
Yeah. Again, I'm not like it was so miraculous. The only thing that would have made it better if they double KO'd each other at the same time. Like this shit was wild. This is a firefight that I wouldn't say all of only these two can do because there's many that are capable, but fuck, man. Like I'm pissed off that this is not the fight of the night. Like
Yeah,
I'm really fucking pissed off. Like what more do you have to do?
you probably would have been better off their lives. Then they'll be like, oh, serves $1 million.
Fucking A.
But speaking of fucking A, in this next matchup, the lightweight, we have Armin Taruki. Remember Armin Taruki, that fella I told you, my favorite fighter, the
Yeah.
best striker that I Taruki.
Yeah.
This our boy Chris Yago. Yago's a sport. He's been in the UFC time now. He knows the game, and he was playing the game exactly the way it was supposed to play. But unfortunately, Armin snuck in a left hook that landed. Sometimes those clean shots land at the right spot. Your brain just doesn't react quick enough. Like, for example, if you get hit in the liver, there's a good, on average, a good 15 to 20 seconds of agony that comes with the paralysis. And that's a whole lot of someone to come in and finish you off 15 to 20 seconds. Long time. The knockout to the chin, flipping of the chin, similar. Before you bearings back, that's bearings back, hands the opponent with it's the job. What happened to Chris Chicago? The fight was just before they've gone through at least 3 minutes match. Yago saw that he was gonna through it. The kicks he blocked quite easily. Excuse me. He handled this well, but then I remember what the Yago he threw a front kick with his rear leg, right leg, from regular threw a front kick. He landed the front kick on Armin's stomach, but as he landed the kick, he did not return to where he came from, which is something we immensely taekwondo. You strike, you return to where you came from, so you can maintain that distance. That no man, you don't want to land. Man, everybody knows during World War between the Germans and I guess the Americans, whatever. There's a piece of land in between both of them, which no one walked. Right? There was a they called the truce, and share Christmas together in no man's. But the very next day, right back to kill each other. So when you throw a kick and you take a step forward, and then you're not ready to do anything else after that, chance something bad. And so Christos, he landed the kick right to the stomach. Then his hand, 1, 2, step forward. After the kick, step forward, down. Armin, check hook, landed, and then that was it. See Yago's going, but this is the nature of the he's fun enough. So I'm sure he'll be he didn't damage, but quick knockout. I mean, he was the referee stopped it. So y'all be back.
Yeah, no, Yeah, everything that you said is absolutely true. I'm kind of like heartbroken because Christos, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think I remember, uh, man, Celtic Gladiator, the first LA show at the Florentine Gardens in El Monte, California. I interviewed Dima, Dmitry Gerasimov, as
Mm-hmm.
well as Christos right outside. And, that was one of my first interviews that I did away from like two guys, one phone with Marcos Bonilla, and the promo videos shot with Bosun Wang, right? So I was really that was my first, I think one of my first interviews there. And just so kind, has always been a cool friend. That whole kind of systems, Black House, what have you. But then, Sarukian, like, fuck yeah, like this was the Battle of Los Angeles, right? That's Glendale Fight Club. Like you were saying, this arguably the greatest Armenian fighter that you've ever seen, and we've seen some great ones, some Car Parisians and fucking Edmund, himself, right? Like Edmund Taverdian, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Hey.
fucking that motherfucker, at Hollywood Park was
Yeah.
beating the shit out of motherfuckers. Like, don't
That's right.
forget,
That's right.
So like,
Armin, 15 minutes. Islam Makhachev. He survived minutes.
yeah,
Islam Makhachev. Khabib Nurmagomedov himself has said Islam Makhachev, the next future champ, the next big problem in the lightweight division. Armin has been in there with him for 15 minutes and not submitted. Tells you the ground prowess of it. And on top of that, got phenomenal dynamic strike. When we talk about flow state and entering free flow, he takes a piss on flow state. He takes a piss on flow state and hovers in free flow. This is the potential of this young man. And once you start seeing him fight the top 10 and people of that nature, you will understand he's actually there to stay because he was born to do this. People will realize.
yeah, 100%. No, and again, just because kind of sad that it's never fun to see any of your friends get knocked out, but we've seen it amateur and pro, regional, what have you. How hard Glendale Fight Club, has worked, especially after Ronda Rousey. Like, they've been active. Saxon, there's so many good gyms here. There's so many good gyms in Nebraska. There's so many good, like, in fucking Barcelona, Spain. There's like, it's just, again, it's an incredible time to be a fucking fight fan. And again, like, so much love and respect to Arman Sarukian. Um, this is this is a good win. To me, Christos is a name. This is his second. This is his second run with the UFC. But also, during his time away, he was fighting all over the country. I mean, all over the world, really. Fighting in Russia and shit like that. Getting as good of experience, worldly experience as you can get. Imagine going into Russian fucking territory. You're fighting a Russian and you meet him and you're trying to fucking get out alive. And not saying that the Russian people will do that, but like that could, if shit goes south, that could potentially happen, And Christos and John Robles and fucking Dima, they're A-OK guys. So those are some good brothers. But shout out to the fucking good brother fucking Armin, man. That was pretty cool. I mean, talk about highlight reel. Like that got shared countless times on social media. But again, it's not fun to see your fucking friends get KO'd. That's not cool. And the same thing, if it was Armin, I'd be like, oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. So, but kudos to both gentlemen for stepping into the ring. This is what fucking fights are about, man. I love it.
Exactly. You win some, you lose some, but you live fight another day.
I thought you were gonna fucking sing Ace of Spades. Like you win some, you lose some. It's all a game to me. Anyway, yes. Speaking of games, we
Yeah.
got a next fight.
The next fight in the 120, the bullets. We have Ariane versus Man Bone.
Yeah.
Man Bone strikes me what I saw as one of those in karate who is very, very, very good. She had confidence coming into this match. She had very good balance, but there was a huge problem. Her lead arm was so low. It was so low, and it bothered me. It bothered me that this caliber in the UFC, you're finally in the UFC, you're 7-0. You're finally in the UFC. You got 50% of the guard down. I didn't understand. You're a former champ, Mandy Mom. You're a former champ, 32 years old, and you were up until this point, and you're in Ariana Lip, a proven UFC veteran. Ariana Lip there with some of the best ever. You know what I mean? Tonya Shevchenko. I mean, Montana, the people that had beaten her with intense grappling. Molly McMahon. The list goes on. She's been in there with incredible fight. And now you coming from Germany or where, and
I
you're gonna
believe somewhere in Europe.
hands that? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
Antwerp, right? I think Antwerp, Amsterdam,
Was
something
it
like that.
Mandy? I think Mandy. Let me see. Yeah. Germany. She's like
Oh,
number
Germany. Okay.
something like
Antwerp, Germany. Fact.
Germany. Fighting
My
out of
geography's off.
Gelsenkirchen, Germany. But I believe this is going to be a very good one for her because severely injured. She took some serious shots, but I believe she'll be back. And this is one of those turning point type fights in which you uh, some serious event, and then you come to that cross. You're either going to go back into better training and better outcome. You're going to go right into scarcity and marinated same sauce that got you that, and then eventually. So I have a feeling it's a bounce back from and actually improve. Got legitimate striking skills, but then you fight the way you fight against Muay Thai art. Muay Thai is gonna break your heart, and that's what happened. Got served real good, and Tarion, she looked real good. That was actually the best I've ever seen. Farm.
Yes. Yes, because her
I've
last couple of outings have been like, right? I believe she won the last fight that she had, but I think it might have been a decision of some sort, right? And now she pieced the gal up, but it was a decision, right?
yeah, literally a 2 fight, and then she got that unanimous decision.
Yeah, absolutely. But you were talking about like the human highlight reel and that thing, a bad moniker. Well, Voodoo, indulge me a bit. What's Ariane Lipsky's
Queen of
moniker?
the
The
queen
queen
of
of fucking violence, folks.
they said she used to fight Europeans violence. So she's got stuff off her, and it's going down. She's still in to the game. Started at what? What's that? What years? That's long. That long. Let's say she's happy now. Things from there on. So I see her still. One thing The table is she is extremely just on look alone, very beautiful. She speaks average, decent English.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks decent English, and she brings a certain balance. The platform will take care of itself just because she looks and she fights the platform itself. I'm sure just yesterday she gained a few thousand followers on Instagram or whatever.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yes, running English is an important element, right? But like, look at the Chris Cyborgs, right? Look at the Amanda Nunes. Look at the Fedors, right? Who maintain this incredible aura and don't Sakuraba, right? Obviously Nunes and Chris Cyborg have made tremendous strides, but I don't know if I've ever seen Fedor nor Sakuraba speak English. I don't even know if I've heard Fedor speak.
Mhm.
And I took a selfie with the gentleman with what was it, the fucking Chael versus Tito fight
Right,
for Bellator.
right.
Wow, yeah. Again, I don't know if he even spoke the whole
Mhm.
fucking night. So,
He's
um, there are some people that can get over, like Shinsuke Nakamura, right? You don't have to explain Shinsuke Nakamura to anybody, especially pre WWE. Now in the WWE, well, it's WWE main roster, right? But you look at fucking Shinsuke Nakamura or Kazuchika Okada, or just some once in a generation fucking talents. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yes, I'm mentioning all fucking Japanese pro wrestlers. Fucking uh, shit. Minoru Suzuki, right? MMA great, pro wrestling great. You don't have to fucking. You just know he's gonna fucking kick ass, and we're all gonna go Kazami Ray. Fuck yes. Like that's just what's gonna happen, right? So, um, I think Lipsky, yes, she's probably gonna improve her English. Like Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes, but like for right now, she's getting over with just her performances and just her likability factor. So that can carry her over into the next fight. And she'll
Yep.
probably be hanging out with Sister Rosetta Tharp. I mean, Rosetta Stone. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sister
Better
Rosetta. Yeah.
want to a lot. This is the time to if
That's
you got
capitalized. Yeah.
to invest some better stuff, you better do it, Miss Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how close are we to the co-main?
This is the whole main of the.
Oh, the evening.
Oh yeah, one is in light heavyweight division with Ion Laba versus Devin Clark. If you remember, the last time we saw Devin Clark, he was fighting someone passed or whatever, and he wanted to death match the person that passed, but he ended up losing, and the whole that went down didn't didn't sit well too well with me, you know, and I don't know, man. After that day, I never really saw him before that,
Yeah.
but especially after that event, I don't see him at all. And into this match, I watched him at the conference. I watched him the face off, and there was something that just was in Devin Clark, and you see it in him. There were times he came close to quit, but then he remembered they're gonna call me, so he continued. Even when he got his face broken, when he took that to his lower jaw, knocked his DC knocked them off
Yeah. That
back,
was.
real good. Continued. because I want people to say, "See, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you about that." He didn't want people to do that finger point and say whatever it is to say about him. So he stayed in the match, lost the match. I wasn't impressed staying in that match and continuing, even had a broken jaw. I wasn't a fan. He didn't impress me by that. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a wimp, but I wasn't impressed by that. I wasn't impressed. He was being outperformed by that anyway. So taking a beat tough. Taking a beating tough. He took a serious beating. He took a serious beating. And as a professional in the UFC, he should know when enough is. There's no need for you taking a beating like those rounds, especially when there's no way. You know, your face is broken. Just let it go. Let it go. You know, Kute Lava wasn't slowing down. He wasn't slowing. He kept. I mean, see, there's something about fatigue when you, who is when matter, doesn't matter how much you put on it. If you see that there's this second wind that comes about an individual, right? When you're winning, when you clearly win, your mind you're winning, the fatigue goes, and you have all the energy in the world. Your opponent, it's for. So this is a different Clark match. And Kutalaba zone, and he was taking his foot off the gas, and he just smashed him. 15 minutes.
Yeah. So you remember what I usually say with Ian Kutsalaba, right? It's just the last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for those who are just now joining us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Micheladas, right? Is Bukaskas. Micheladas is Michelada Bukaki, which is a Stone Cold Steve Austin beer bash. But here's the thing: in Kutsalaba, at least according to Woods, is cute labia. Okay, and then Eon spells his name like a ion, like one of the chemical whatever fucking periodic table, right?
Right.
But it can be construed as ion. So theoretically, in my head, his name is Ion Cute Labia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my only analysis.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't very that fight. It was a one. Kute Lava. I don't like the mouth or the face off, but Devin Clark, he should just go back to being a buzz driver. That's what he was for. I don't think fight unless he's still taking beatings from the top 10, then he's all good. Otherwise, let it go. At least not at, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and how do you even fucking fix his mouth? Like it was the gums that fucked up, not the. You know how do you? Oh, that's right.
Out of place. Crazy. Knee strikes.
Yeah, 100%. It's. But I wonder if Dana White is hooking him up with the same surgeon that he hooked Ronda up after she got fucking head kick KO'd by Holly Holm.
Yeah,
but
right.
Supposedly that guy's in Vegas. They were in Vegas, so I don't know.
Dana, you better come. and get this some good treatment.
Yeah,
Broke
man.
the face for you. You better hook him up because he's going.
1,000%.
You know.
But speaking of things that are 1,000%, I am 1,000% sure that we are at the main event of the evening.
You
Oof,
better.
there was a frog in
Bet.
my throat.
And in this event of the at the 205 limit, we have Ed versus Ryan Span. I guess there was some controversy as to and disrespect.
You literally said in the promo package,
What he said.
fucking Anthony Smith ain't shit or some shit. Like,
I guess he was time.
like they scrolled across and it was super funny because they have fucking Span's voiceover, right? And they pan to Span in a park, and the voiceover is talking so much fucking shit, and he's like standing in a park. It was one of the weirdest fucking things I'd ever seen in the UFC. Now, just a kind of quick tidbit in terms of things put on by the UFC. You got to give the credit where it's due, right?
Mhm.
So Joseph Benavidez, as well as Carlos Condit, two of the all-time greats in MMA, had retired. And heck, Dr. Roman Velasquez was on with a podcast. Carlos Condit and a bunch of those Jackson Wink guys and gals. He works with their neurological deals. Alex Ramirez in the chat was like, "Holy crap, fucking Carlos Condit retired." Dr. Roman was like, "I didn't even know that. I saw him this morning." So that's how close to the vest it got. But yeah, a beautiful, beautiful video packages for both. But also Susie, right? Susie, the longtime makeup artist
Right.
with the UFC, unfortunately succumbed to cancer over the past week.
Right.
And we've got friends that are in the UFC, like a Tyrion Ware, and she made him feel good in his UFC debut. All of the Octagon girls, right? Brittany Palmer, fucking Ariane Celeste, and everyone that she's just a gem. Like their road mom, Ashley Evan Smith. Like the outpouring of emotion was almost like that of Norm Macdonald. She was one of ours. And I thought it was a very classy gesture that they made. The the makeup room at the UFC Apex.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Susie Fritton makeup, room, and I thought I kind of teared up, 100%. So I you got to there's a lot that we criticize about the UFC, but this one, all three of them did right by Joey Benavidez, did right by Carlos Condit, did right by Susie. So just whoever put that together and everything, you guys are all class acts.
Yes.
That gets a thumbs up from me. So
yeah, another blue laid out by WWE. Kind someone they always shout them out. Nice video montage.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you looking out.
Yeah. So, like I said, Ryan Span was talking all types of shit. Now I don't know about the Twitter, whatever, but just like the fucking deal about him in a park, like a children's fucking playground, and his voiceover as the camera's panning. Yeah, fuck that motherfucker. Obviously, like it was just beep, 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 beep. I thought he was speaking in Morse code, like boop, 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 2 shorts, 1 long, all that shit. I was like, oh god, right? But yeah. So there was a lot of things that were different in Smith. First off, I didn't even know he was 33. When you look at his fucking record, he's got damn near 50 fights.
Right.
And he's only 33?
Yeah.
What in the fuck, right? And again, the way that I feel about Anthony Lionheart Smith, especially after that last Yeah, I don't know if it was the last fight, but the fucking fight where he gets mollywopped, right? Nobody fucking calls it.
Like Glover.
Yeah, Teixeira. Yeah, Glover Teixeira. I think I had pretty much given Anthony Smith his last rights, right? You're good. You know, we don't
Yeah,
like we don't need you to sacrifice anymore.
after Glover, he fought Alexander back.
Mm,
Yeah, he came back. He lost it, by the way, by United. He said he wasn't into it, and he came back. Clark and Mock trying came back again. Recruit doctors told him leg injury, calf, and then now he expand on his resume with choke. Uh, he's angling another title. Now that there, I see no problem in get another. This last time was against John. This is a fresh fight. It's a fight that's marketable just because Smith is a broadcaster. People will be familiar. So when poster, more than likely how he fights, especially going to title. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what.
we'll see. Jan is so fucking scary. I don't know if I want Anthony Smith to be there, but you know, if he wants a title before he ends his fucking career, you got to go through Jan, the fucking Polish powerhouse, like Ivan Pankov.
Black will really hurt him if he's not careful. He's a big.
Yeah,
Uh, he's an excellent goal. So not that Smith's black belt means nothing. It's just different, man. It's different when a dude volunteered during winter to go to the cut a hole in ice and jump in that freezing. You know the guy's not. He's one can 6 pack like that six Terminator one. One can six pack, which is why he is right now. All he needs is 5 cans. He don't need 6. He just needs 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and he's gonna make it. And he's doing so. Um, I would like to see Smith get another title shot, but he should make fear while he's at it.
yeah. Well, there was something different about Smith, right? And his physique. He looked as the best he's ever looked, right? To me and to many others. The fact of the matter is, right? Fuck. He was chomping on. Well, first off, the weight was good, right? He fucking, got to a heavier weight and then worked his way down. Like, he went to 230 and then got his weight down to 185, right? So he felt better that way, more replenished that way. Now, the second thing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was chomping on his mouthpiece. Like, he kept on like that. Like, he did not give a flying fuck about what was about to happen. He was gonna run through fucking Span like nobody's business, and that's essentially what he did. He was just. I just remember that.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, and how Ryan Span uh, didn't even want to fucking look him in the eye when they touched gloves. And I was like, oh, he got him. Like, whatever
Even
fucking coach that was like, oh, what happened?
I say, even if you want to look at it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it was a great win for Smith. Again, where does he go from here? You got a fucking Polish power, and that might not end well for you. You might want to fucking pack a lunch, sir.
straight up, straight up.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Voodoo in the Woods, UFC Vegas 37 post fight review. Shout out to everybody in Combate. Shout out to everyone in UFC. Shout out to everyone who competed in Bellator. And you guys are awesome. Thank you for bringing this amazing content. Speaking of amazing content, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the Voodoo in the Woods podcast on Facebook and YouTube. And Voodoo, last but very not least, where can people find you on social media?
Definitely YouTube channel, my Facebook page, Instagram, and all day, every day.
Yes. And I could be found in such places that Voodoo just mentioned at According to Woods. When I'm not podcasting, I'm sending you dumb shit memes. So get ready. Here I come.
Yeah.